understand this. If you're allowing your job or the people around you or even yourself to treat yourself poorly, it's because you have low self-esteem. You see, low self-esteem means one's confidence in yourself, one's self-worth, and one's self-respect. And if you don't have much confidence in yourself, you don't believe you're worthy of many things, and you lack respect, well, then you are going to allow other people to step on you, other people to call you certain names, other people to treat you certain ways, and you will not feel like you deserve better partners, a better job, none of that stuff. What you end up doing, you end up playing the victim. You end up pointing fingers on things are not working my way because of that person, because of my situation, because I live at home, or I have roommates, or my job just doesn't pay me enough. They're not doing good, or I'm just always tired. I don't have the time. You will always find an excuse. You will always find someone to blame. You'll always be like, my circumstances are not right, and that's exactly why I don't have what I want. And so that is the byproduct of poor self-esteem. You see, growing up, our self-esteem is developed, because we have parents, obviously. Some people don't have parents, but your parents, right? How they raised you plays a big role in your self-esteem and how you believe in yourself growing up. For my example, my dad started really pushing me in baseball since I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was when I started playing baseball, but I do know this, that he would instill in me to be better and be better and be better, and that I could be better. And it was never enough, though. It was never enough for him. It was never good enough for him. And so that pushed me to just never be satisfied with the way I played. My dad demanded perfection. My dad demanded I be the best. And so that built my self-esteem. Now you might be, oh, that's so lucky. That's so lucky. Yeah, we had a relationship that was not the best. And so growing up, I also didn't think I was smart. Okay, my parents pushed me so much in sports. Like my dad and mom's like, yo, he's gonna play in the major leagues. Like he's gonna be a major league baseball player. And then they sidelined my education. Not their fault. Like they just knew I wasn't good in school. My brother, on the other hand, they pushed him in school. My brother was really good in school. He was like the book smart in the family. So they were like, Andres is good at school, Alex is good at sports. They're both different in that essence, And so as I developed and I stopped playing baseball, the downside became, okay, I'm not smart. So my self-esteem and sense of like being smart was really low. I didn't think I could go to college. I didn't think I could get myself this corporate job because that wasn't who I am. I'll never forget, I was in class one day and my professor asked, like, raise your hand if you're going to college. Not one thought of like, yeah, I'm definitely going to college. I was like, I kept my hand down. And there's maybe like 3 people in that class. Maybe 3 or 4 people that actually raised their hand out of like 20 of us. And I'm like, damn, no one's going to college. I didn't even think about college. I couldn't even think about going to college when I'm like struggling in school just to get by. I'm like, tomorrow. So, I always thought that I was just going to be physical. My body was just going to be what I was. Like, this is all I'm good at. Working out, talking to girls, and that's it. And so my self-esteem was very low when it came to education, thinking I was smart. And so in your situation, you have to look at where you think you're not as good. And you have to realize that that's just a thought. It doesn't have to be real. And so at 19, I met a guy named Ty Lopez. You might fucking know him, Ty Lopez. And he taught me about books. Like obviously we all know about fucking books, but most people don't read books, all right? And I just started, I've always had different books. I'm not saying these are the best books. I'm just saying I'm always gonna have different books. But I started reading a lot, and yes, I gained knowledge from books, here and there, but I gained more knowledge from different mentors, people actually that taught me. I sought out people who were very, very well off. And so understand that your self-esteem can be developed on a daily basis. And it's not developed going in the mirror and screaming, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you deserve the world. Like that, does it help? Yeah, it helps to like program your mind. But your mind it's not a bullshitter. It knows if you're in great shape, you have a six pack, but then you come out here and you eat like shit, you don't track your protein, carbs, and fats, you don't work out as much, you go out there and have hella like more calories. I don't even call them cheat meals no more. You just have more calories, right? So it doesn't matter. You're just lying to yourself, you know? So understand, if you want the people around you to treat you better, if you want to have a better job, better opportunities, if you want to have a better relationship, find someone that you actually like and build something with them, then you must first build up your self-esteem. And your self-esteem is built up through the work. You see, you might see an amazing body. You might think, oh, it's not just about looks. It's definitely not just about looks. It's about what the looks represent. My body represents that I'm disciplined, that I say no to a lot of things, that I know what I'm doing, that I'm consistent, that I work very, very, very hard. So you see, you're proving to yourself every day what you're actually worth. And I use this scenario of a piece of real estate. Imagine you have a house, and that house is worth $100,000. Now, that's your property. Now, if you went into that house every day with a little hammer, like a hammer, not even a hammer, a little hammer, there's a hammer, and you started making holes in the wall, right? Started making some holes in the bedroom, started breaking some things, the value of the house would start to go down. You go from a $100,000 house to a $99,000 house, a $98,000 house, $97,000. Every day you came back, you would just take some money off, take some money. You would bring the value of the house down because you're making it worse, right? How do you make yourself worse? Well, you sleep in, you don't work out, you eat shitty, you don't educate yourself, you don't seek more opportunities, right? You waste time, you procrastinate, right? That's how you're making your value less, because you know better than everybody. Now, imagine if you went to the house, you went in and you fixed up a couple windows, you added new furniture, you changed the kitchen, you added some new attires to the bedroom, better beds, better showers, better bathrooms. That house starts to slowly go up, 101,000, 102,000, 103,000, 104,000, 105,000. Now, check this out. Guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have different types of buyers. You're going to have different types of people coming in to want to see the house. You're going to have people who can afford a $105,000 house versus people who are looking for a $95,000, $93,000 house that's wrecked. That's wrecked. Think about that. The quality of people will be different because the quality of the house is different. So every day you decide, how are you treating this house, this piece of real estate, which is your body, your mind, and your soul? Are you making them better? Are you making them worse? And so when you start doing that, you raise your level of self-esteem. You raise your level of confidence in yourself. You raise the level of self-worth, when you feel you're worthy. You raise the level of respect. And somebody that respects themselves will not do something that lowers their self-esteem. Like if you take, for example, like a man who respects himself, I don't think really sleeps around with a bunch of women. When I used to sleep around with a bunch of women, I didn't respect myself. I thought I did, just because I had a good body, I know how to fight, and I ran my business, but it was just barely making it. I didn't respect myself. If I respected myself, I wouldn't sleep around. No, I didn't value myself as much. My self-esteem was low. Now it's like I value myself so much more. My self-esteem is much higher because of the work. I don't sleep around. I'm very picky on who I speak to, who I sleep with. Like, very picky. And in a sense, it's like I'm not gonna disrespect myself. I'm not gonna give myself away. Same goes for like emotions. Like if someone makes you mad, are you gonna disrespect yourself and get into that altercation and allow them to control how you feel? Or are you gonna have some respect for yourself and realize, no, this person's not worth getting mad over. This person's not worth losing my temper for. This person's not worth losing my peace. I respect myself too much. No, you have a great day, man. Whatever. Peace. Same thing with relationships. You know, you can put in effort, but if that person's not ultimately if it doesn't match what your thought is of a good relationship and a good partner, then you will have enough respect to not be like, hey, like this is what I want. Like I'm willing to give you the world, you know? And I'm not saying this is transactional, but like, hey, like obviously, like I respect you, I would want this type of respect too, you know? So understand that every day you get to build your self-esteem or break it down. Either you make the house more valuable or you bring the value of the house down. And by that, you'll see who you attract into your place. All right, work on that self-esteem and watch everything else in your life get better. Much love.